So my dad called me the other day. He was a little confused over a text he received that reported that someone had bought something really expensive at Walmart on his credit card. He already had the suspicions, but he wanted to confirm that it wasn't me who somehow got a hold of his card after all these years. Again, he was 99.999, repeating of course, percent sure that it was a scam. But he wanted to be sure, just in case. He diligently checked around, contacted me, and presumably my mom and sister as well, and correctly concluded that the text was a scam. Reported the message for what it was, and that was that. But that did make me wonder if he hadn't done a thorough investigation, could he have fallen for it? Coincidentally, that same day, a few of us in the temple office were discussing spam phone calls and the ideal, fun, way of dealing with them. One person shared that they used to enjoy answering with an outrageous accent or put on a voice from their favorite cartoon. And another really enjoyed wasting the scammer's time by feigning interest or belief. But no more. Now our voices can be recorded and used elsewhere. The sad fact is that scammers and scamming AI are using every trick in the book to take advantage of and harm us. It's so common, I even like to joke that my best friend is potential spam based on the sheer number of calls I receive in any given day. Which brings us to our religious text. In Parshat Shoftim, we are given an array of instructions that are meant to serve as the guideposts for a just society. How we cast judgment, dole out the death penalty, and even engage in war. For those familiar with the phrase, tzedek, tzedek tirdof, justice, justice you shall pursue, that is in this week's Torah portion. But instead of that golden nugget of wisdom, what stood out to me today, on August 14th, 2026, was a different chunk of text. That in the event that an individual intentionally gives false witness against another, v'dorshu hashoftim hetev, the judges shall thoroughly investigate the matter. And in the event of false witness, the guilty would be punished as if they had committed the accused crime themselves. Life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, and so forth. Admittedly, that is a little draconian, but the sentiment is clear. Our forebears had zero tolerance for false witness, and such action would not be tolerated. We sadly lack the ability to hold modern-day scammers to justice. We cannot reclaim the hundreds of thousands of dollars that they steal or the time and peace of mind that they waste. But scammers are not the only area where it would behoove us to thoroughly investigate before we act. Oh, I was hoping that was going to say potential spam. But there are many areas in our daily lives where the truth is bent or supplanted in order to evoke a particular reaction in us. On Facebook, it's rage bait. In the media, it is clickbait and gotcha headlines. And in our daily lives, it is hearsay and gossip. Those who wish to manipulate us into a particular opinion or to force engagement with an algorithm use inflammatory language and stories that make us angry, shocked, and depressed. It is really easy for these things to work, for our gut reaction to activate, and for us to fall for their scamming falsehoods. which again leads us to the matter of a thorough investigation. Also, from this week's Parsha, when an individual is accused of idol worship, we are taught, Ve'darashta hetev, and you will thoroughly investigate before casting judgment. We are not taught to act immediately, to stone the accused without thought. We are told to investigate, to take a moment to cool down and be certain. Then we stone them. Quick aside, neither I or BJBE condone any violent stoning. So today, when we are bombarded by headlines and scam calls and rage bait, let us also take that moment to assess. What are we seeing? Is this truth? Is this objectively in reality? Then let us respond. We can put down the phone and be content knowing that in a small way, by doing this, we contribute to a better and just society. So on this Shabbat, let us take a break from it all, relax, breathe, take the rest we need. Then, when we return to the world, let us do so with discerning eyes and a curious heart, and give things a thorough investigation. Shabbat Shalom.